My favorite memory is
My favorite memory
My favorite memory of beach.
my favorite memory of Berkner.
My favorite time was just meeting people.
My favorite experiences and memories would have to be the school dances and all those events because I participated in planning them, and then to see all the work I've done pan out was really cool.
I would say my best school memory here is whenever K104 and a Keep to Leave came. That was just the latest pep rally we had. I'll remember that as I grow up.
Favorite memory? I say meeting my friends.
My favorite memory here is filming the football games and helping create an award-winning short film.
I think my favorite memory is when I first joined Latin dance. It felt like a true family.
favorite memory is being in the swim team because I loved all the people that were in there and they were like a family to me. And we always just bonded very well.
My favorite memory was probably the fall orchestra concert this year where I did a violin solo, and it was one of the most exhilarating and thrilling experiences of my life.
Favorite memory has to be last year's homecoming.
I think my favorite memory of BHS is definitely the trip we took for TSA Nationals. The trip was really fun, not just because we finished first, but because we got to travel around Orlando, and then I just spent a lot of good time with all my friends and mentors.
Favorite memory is when we threw a birthday party for Mr. Miller.
My favorite memory is when we went to New York for the BHS film trip for the All-American Film Festival because it helped me build my photography portfolio.
My sophomore year, we took a trip for Ramblers to Disney World to perform there. My favorite because I got really close to everyone.
My favorite memory of Berkner would have to be my freshman year when I made varsity volleyball.
My favorite memory is when Coach Riley was coaching the varsity soccer team and the grass was kind of wet, and he went to do a breakaway to show the whole entire team what we were supposed to do for that drill, and he just totally ate it.
My favorite memory is probably getting the opportunity to get an internship at Methodist Richardson through the RISD PIP program.
My favorite memory was my junior year in physics when we was doing that boat project. Making the boat project was interesting, but it was a lot of fun making it with your friends and struggling and having laughs and going in the pool and just having fun time with your friends.
Meeting all my friends in STEM just because we were always together, and joining the swim team.
Joining STEM in general and just seeing what a great place it's become.
My favorite memory here at Berkner was performing with the band in the stands as a bando and dancing to all the stand routines and just watching them.
My favorite memory got to be two-a-days for football and hitting the pool after practicing out in the sun. Also just playing all the sports, doing track, all that. That was my favorite memory because it taught me character.
My favorite high school memory is track and field. Just all the people I got to meet, the competition, all the meets, all the memories I'm going to have.
That one end of school where everybody had to go out in the front and we got ambushed by water guns and stuff. That was fun.
Favorite Berkner memory from senior year is probably when we took the UT Austin San Antonio college trip.
My favorite memory, my first day working in theater, is when the senior that I knew called Ben Bagwell sawed a table in half because he was trying to show me how to cut wood.
I would say my favorite BHS memory was helping film the football games because you get to see the whole field from high up.
My favorite memory was when I joined the varsity soccer girls team and became captain.
Friday night lights with the bell guards.
Berkner High School memory would have to be this year, my senior season, playing soccer for the varsity team and being able to help everybody and lead everybody on and off the field.
My favorite Berkner memory is qualifying for state 3 years in a row for debate and qualifying for the national championship this year in robotics.
My favorite memory is going to Iceland with the film team.
And New York with the film team.
As well as Japan.
I'd like to thank Ms. Joyner because she helped me a lot in my math class and she's very funny. And Mr. Watson because he's a very good teacher.
I would like to thank Mr. Rivas for helping me strive to do my best and being the best teacher ever.
Miss Galvin helped me, throughout my life. Helped me go through some hard times and here and there. She's a really enjoyable person.
I want to thank all of the teachers that just keep on teaching us forward, never stop giving up on us, just loving us, just caring about us.
I'd like to thank Miss Hack because she's taught me a lot of important lessons and helped me through a lot of stuff. And then I like to thank Miss Simone because she's been there for 3 years of my life and she's helped me through a lot also.
I would like to thank G-Money for being my school dad, and then Miss Burnett for being my school mom, Miss Hubbard for always being there.
thank all my teachers for being there for me and helping me pass my classes.
Thank you to Coach Morales and Miss Demet for not failing me during spring show week.
I'd like to say thank you to a lot of my teachers, Mr. Yu, Miss Rilling, Watson, Riley, and so many more that I just can't name on the spot. Thank you.
I'd like to thank Coach Riley and Mr. Watson for being my at-school dad. You know, sometimes it's very hard to get through school. There's a lot of situations, but they've helped me through them, personal and academic, so I'm glad to have them at school.
I'd like to thank Mr. Sisk for being a really funny teacher, Miss Rilling for being a great mentor teacher, and Miss Pardew for advising me and everything today.
Thank you to Coach Riley for always being there for me and never giving up on me, and thank you to Officer Smith and Gibson for keeping us safe, of course, and Miss Cage and Mr. Gunter for being the best assistant principal and principals in the RSD school district.
Say Miss Shell because she was always here for me. She was always like a backbone coming here. I know I could talk to her about anything.
I'd like to thank Mr. Gunter for getting me into STEM, and for Mr. Ghazi for just helping me get through algebra and math in general.
I would like to thank Coach Riley and Coach Brandon for making me into a better person that I am today.
The teachers I would like to thank are probably Coach B for always helping me, pushing me to do greater and better, and Mama G, as well as Miss Morgan, honestly all my teachers that I've had in the past.
I'd like to thank Coach Brandon for being an amazing debate coach. I'd like to thank Mr. Pastrana for teaching me how to be an amazing robotics member and showing me the leadership qualities I like. And I'd like to thank Mr. Yu and Mr. Rivas for being two amazing teachers that have shown me how to be a better person.
Mr. Watson, Coach Arroyo, Coach Baker, Miss Galvan.
I want to thank Mr. Rivas, Mr. Sisk, and Mr. Watson.
I would like to thank Mr. James. He was a teacher I had my junior year, and he's a really cool guy. He's just understanding, just helped me out whenever I needed anything, and just somebody that was funny and somebody I could actually talk to. I also want to thank Coach D and Coach Petty. I've been in the basketball program for 4 years, and they've really helped me out and taught me a lot of things outside of the basketball court and stuff that I'm gonna carry with me after high school.
I'd like to thank Mr. Rivas because he fed me, he listened to me, he was a friend as well as a teacher.
I would like to thank Mr. Yu, first and foremost, for being someone that is an understanding teacher for a lot of different things, and we also have a lot of inside jokes as well. Mr. Sisk for being an amazing STEM teacher and also putting forth a lot of effort towards STEM. My STEM experience has been absolutely amazing.
I would like to thank Mr. Watson for being the best AP Bio teacher ever. Coach Bergachea, Coach Riley, and Mr. Gunther for being such an amazing STEM principal and for always supporting me in my passions.
I want to say thank you to Coach Morales, Coach B, Coach Gunnarsson, and I want to say thank you to Ms. Cage, Coach Riley, Mr. Watson, Mr. Rivas. They've all impacted me in a big way.
I'd like to thank Coach O, Coach Thomas for always pushing me to do better, and Miss Hack for always believing in me and all my classmates.
I want to thank Ms. Gibson, Ms. Suker, my coaches, all the people that believed in me, helped me through my ways.
I want to say thank you to Dr. Cole, Mr. Shovlin, and the whole Avid family. They've showed me, they've helped me get to college, make a difference in my family and all that. And I want to say thank you to everybody that's done that for me.
Thank you, Lucasio, for coming into Ramblers. I know it's a very interesting group to walk into, but you have done a great job your first year and you have impacted Ramblers so much, and I'm truly going to miss you.
Ms. Lucasio, thank you for becoming one of my favorite teachers and becoming a best friend to me and becoming one of my best friends. Love you. Gonna miss you.
Hey, Ms. Ocasio, even though I'm not an actual Rambler, you always make me feel like I'm welcome and you're always someone I can talk to, so thank you for that.
I would have to thank my freshman teacher, Miss Burnett, my sophomore teacher, Coach B, my junior teacher, Mr. Shovelin, and I would have to thank Miss Bentley.
Coach Neff and Coach Reitlinger, they've helped me a lot with some issues I went through freshman year.
Thank you to Coach Riley, Ms. Ocasio, Coach Tokar, Coach Cannon, Coach Sellers, Coach Led.
Riley Lucasio, Larwa, all the volleyball staff coaches, and just all of the teachers I've had for all 4 years. Thank you.
I'd like to thank Coach Perales because he really just spends time in making sure we all understand what we're supposed to be learning.
Thank my internship teacher, Miss Goley, for giving me the great opportunity. And of course, Lucasio and Riley, because they became
some of my best friends.
I'd
And
like to thank Osniel Rivas for being an awesome teacher. I'd also like to thank Mr. Watson for pushing me to do my best.
I thank Coach Riley, he's the GOAT. I like to thank Coach Tokar, he helps me with a lot. Coach Cannon and Miss Acosta.
I'd like to thank Miss Claiborne. Miss Claiborne was always like my school mom. Even when I was sad or anything, she was always there for me. So I always like to thank her for that. Miss Nixon, because I'm trying to do forensics in college and she's helping me out. Mr. Watson, he was always funny. And Mr. Rivas, anytime I wanted to record music, he was always there for me.
to thank Miss Joyner because she's the best math teacher in the school. I also like to thank Miss Young because she teaches me a lot about the major that I want to take when I'm older.
I'd like to thank Mr. Needham for giving me so many opportunities to shine and improve my skills. Thank you, Watson and Riley, for being great student council teachers and supporting me even through my darkest times. Thank you, Mr. Rivas, for letting me sit in your room even though I'm not actually in your class and always being nice to me. I'd like to thank Ms. Rilling for inspiring me to do environmental science as my major and always being a supportive and strong figure in my life.
It's definitely Mr. Rivas. He's probably the coolest teacher in Berkner High School. He helped me through so much. I can't thank him enough. Mr. Gibson, my computer maintenance teacher, for helping me get into computer maintenance and technology. And shout out to my counselor, Ms. Nickelberry, for helping me through a lot.
I would like to thank
Rivas!
Yeah, Rivas! It has to be Rivas. Why?
Because he's the best. He took us to Iceland.
And New York.
And Fort Worth.
And Japan.
I'd like to thank Miss Grissom for helping me with math. I'd like to thank Miss Lacasio for being the best new director Ramblers could have ever asked for. She's been such a positive light on Ramblers, and I love her.
I would like to thank the band directors here for being such a big positive part of my life.
I'll give a thank you to Mr. Pastrana and Mr. Hall because they just really helped find my passion in engineering. And Mr. Pastrana specifically, he's coached me for robotics and just like in real life applications and stuff, and it just really helped me like just in general.